calling for the Senate president to step aside. Nearly 60 civil society organizations. Give us the bare bones of this case and how we got here.
Thank you very much. So, civil society organizations, especially those civil society organizations that have fought hard to get democracy back in Nigeria, they have been so worried and concerned that democracy and election has been bastardized in this country, and the need to restore political integrity in Nigeria so that at least we will be able to leave legacy for the younger generation. And to also, put confidence that our electoral system, it is not a system that it is only when you have money or when you have security or INEC or judiciary that you can win an election. So because of this concern and because of the fact that you cannot be a leader when you have serious moral deficit, when you have ethical question around your, being involved in the electoral process, especially when the person who perpetrated this, act has been confirmed to have committed electoral fraud and even, recommended for jail, then you continue to sit in the leadership position in the country. In other countries, once you are involved, no matter how long that crime you committed, it doesn't need to be the present crime. Even if it was done previously, for the fact that you have committed that and that the court has confirmed that you are a beneficiary of such kind of crime, you lost moral superiority to be in that leadership position. And
but did he actually win that election? Because when we say he was a beneficiary, I'm wondering whether he won that particular election. I mean, I know he won the one previous and subsequent, but I mean, did he win that election?
For the court to have said that, his election was, constituted,
tainted.
is tainted, and that, the INEC had even overwhelming facts and evidences as presented by the then electoral commissioner in the state, clearly show that something fishy had happened. If there was no any problem, why must it be a Fabio case? It could be also the other people. But in this case, we have just seen, just as recent as last week, court validating the fraud that has happened. So we are just looking at it from moral perspective, from ethical perspective, from the fact that we need to leave a legacy. We need to restore confidence on Nigerians that democracy is not a platform for committing electoral fraud, electoral rigging, and what have you.
So let's be clear. The reason you're calling for him to vacate his position is for the sake of public confidence.
Absolutely.
The rule of law, the integrity of Nigeria's democratic institutions, and I'm quoting verbatim from your press release. And your argument is that if he remains in office, that would undermine democratic values, raise much more fundamental ethical questions, and send a dangerous signal about this country's electoral process ahead of the 2027 general election.
That's exactly what we have articulated in our position, and I tell you that we had more than these 60 organizations. In fact, at the time we were just going to the press, we had several other organizations that we could not even listed in the list because we had a time deadline for people to signify their interest to join on this. Unfortunately, they missed the deadline, so several of them, which will have run into hundreds, we were not able to do that because we need to make sure that we are timely.
So it's a much bigger group.
Exactly, it's a much bigger thing because many Nigerians who have struggled for this democracy, who really want this democracy to be a platform that can ensure justice, fairness, and pre-judiciary, independent judiciary, electoral body that is trusted, security that can be also unbiased, and INEC itself that can really be independent, and the people that can actually vote and be able to get what they have voted.
Yes,
they all need to be worried and concerned, and that is why they want to make sure that whoever benefited from such a system of fraud, he or she should not. So it's not just about a Fabio person. It is about the fact that a crime had been committed, and irrespective
it's
of
about
whoever
the sanctity of the system.
Sanctity of the system.
But that system,
and we cannot be a country that is run by either hooligan or country that is run by unconstitutional order. If we continue that way, it means that we are mutilating democracy.
You have a very good point, but of course, I mean, the other side would argue that it also works both ways, because in addition to the ethical questions that you raise, the rights of an individual also have to be preserved. I mean, that's the whole point of it. But the question that you raise is, and that's a very important question, having been a confirmed beneficiary of electoral fraud in the 2019 to the 9th Senate, did Senator Akpabio have the legal or moral standing to contest for a seat in the 10th Assembly? Talk less of serving as the president of the Senate, even if he didn't win in that 2019 bit. That's your argument.
So this is
that's the question you raised.
So this is the thing that we are saying. We are saying that in the first place, if you have been involved in this process, even though he denied that he did not, state manage that, but now that we have gotten legal, or judicial conviction in that, case, it means that, he has a case, and for him to preserve the sanctity, the dignity of even that, position as Senate President, he is like number 3 in the country, and if your election is having this serious integrity deficit, then definitely you need to make that sacrifice to show example that you are not desperate, and you are not out there at all costs to stay in that position unless it is a personal interest. If it is for the public interest, there's no argument, there's no worry. You can simply step aside and even apologize to the nation, because there's no way the probe will go to jail and then you are sitting enjoying